You know I'm a Bengali and I love my mishti. Mishti is like mithai, of course. I cannot do without it.
What you suffer from is also the harsh glare of cameras.
In the 8th grade, I couldn't differentiate between X and Z and I would always just copy it wrong from the board. Oh my god, I was suffering with this particular myth. You know, I actually walked into one of my colleagues one day. Wait, no, are you ready for this?
Is this after this bit?
Are you ready for this? Alright, I'm really ready for this. Are you happy and relieved to be like finally done with the shoot?
Definitely. I think in this time I could have completed 3-4 surgeries. So this was harder for me than operating.
Being an actor is harder than being a surgeon. Hi, this is Tridha and I'm your host. Let's talk about eyes with Ashvini Netralaya. Eyes are so crucial, so let's talk about myopia, cataracts and beyond, because today I have a super co-host with me who's going to talk all about eyes. Dr. Anurag Majumdar. He's not just the director of Ashvini Netralaya Agartala, but he is also a chief eye surgeon. Let's hear all about him. Are you ready for this?
Absolutely, Tridha. First of all, thank you for the warm welcome to your shows Let's Talk Eyes. So let's make eye health fun and easy to understand today.
That's exactly what we need, because when I see reels and videos, I'm constantly seeing a lot of myths. So let's debug all the myths, shall we?
Sure, let's go ahead.
Let's go ahead. I've prepared some questions, so let's see if doctor is able to answer these correctly. Myopia, dryness and strain caused by these. Oh my god, tell me so much about myopia. I mean, when I was a kid, in the 8th grade, I couldn't differentiate between X and Z and I would always just copy it wrong from the board. Can you tell us a little about myopia?
First of all, thank you for sharing this question with me. I think it's a very important question for all generations. Actually, myopia, right now we see more than 70% of children having myopia. And like you shared your own example, they're suffering in their day-to-day lives because of that. Now for myopia, once you cross the age of 21, we have a lot of different surgical options available, which include refractive surgeries mostly. Like you must have heard of LASIK, things like SMILE, things like Contura Vision. And we also have something called implantable collamer lens, which is a lens implanted inside your eye to treat your myopia. And if we talk about below 21 years of age, then you have to unfortunately wear spectacles or contact lenses.
So clearly I'm not below 21, so that doesn't apply for me. So we'll have to find LASIK as an option.
Right, yeah. So since you're above 21, I think we could go with LASIK, but you have to have a stable refractive power for more than 1 year. To be eligible for LASIK.
And just explaining, myopia is basically short-sightedness. So where you cannot see, you can see everything. Like I can see this teacup, but I cannot basically focus and see anything beyond a certain focal point because, yeah, I'm myopic.
Yeah, so that is what myopia is exactly. And since we are talking about short-sightedness, it's also not a good idea to keep looking at your screen all day just because you're short-sighted. Because then we have another major problem, which is dryness.
Yes.
So I think me as a doctor also, I am a victim of that, and it's something that even I do day in and day out. I don't maintain my screen time. It's not advisable for everyone. So I think as an artist, what you suffer from is also the harsh glare of cameras. So you must be very susceptible to something like dryness. So what I would suggest is, first of all, consult a good ophthalmologist, get your eyes examined. And then I think it's a good idea to start lubricating drops on a regular basis.
I do that
keeping your profession in mind.
Yes. Thank you. So driving is something I enjoy and I know you enjoy it as well. But something that my father has faced recently is he's been having a little bit of concern while driving, you know, because vision problems at night or due to, you know, like driving is something, it's such a serious task. So if our vision is not rectified or there is concerns there, what would you recommend to my father or people, you know, of the same age group?
Like you said, Tridha, driving is something that I enjoy too on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to stop doing it.
Right.
As you mentioned about your father, at that age, I'm guessing he's somewhere in the late 50s to early 60s.
Yes.
So in that age group, I think we can talk about 3 major problems that can cause problems in driving. One is cataracts, very common. It happens due to age. So that's an opacity of your natural lens. Your lens starts becoming white or brown according to the grade of cataract. So that's one thing that can cause problems in night vision. Another problem would be even glaucoma. Glaucoma is a very serious, usually undetected disorder.
Is it related to diabetes by any chance?
Glaucoma is not, but progression of cataract definitely is.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so diabetes itself can make your cataract progress.
We will come
beyond
to
a
that
point.
next.
Yeah, so these are two important problems. Other than that, you have other problems like it could be plain refractive error. You need to get his power checked, get him corrective glasses. So I think these three are the major things that can suddenly cause problems at night. Another thing that he could also do is get anti-glare glasses for driving. So we have these glasses which have an anti-reflective coating to protect you from the glare of an incoming headlight. So that's one thing. And keeping all these factors in mind, I think the best advice to you would be you get your father to a registered ophthalmologist or a good eye hospital. Ashvini Netralaya is one of them.
Yes,
And,
getting my father there.
Yeah, so get him properly examined, and I'm sure we'll find a solution to whatever he's facing.
No, I love that you mentioned that, you know, it's something people have to deal with. Like, there's no running away from it. So there are ways to do this, like doctor suggested, and I hope that doesn't stop any of you from driving. You know, I'm a Bengali and I love my mishti. Mishti is like mithai, of course. I cannot do without it. And guess what it causes? We both being Bengalis know it causes diabetes. So doctor, do you think I should check my sugar? I mean, you know, I know diabetes can actually lead to a lot of eyesight problems. Will you tell me about it?
For sure. So being a Bengali, like you mentioned, even I suffer from the same sweet tooth syndrome. So the first thing would be do get your sugar checked at regular intervals.
Yeah.
And the other thing is diabetes can actually affect your eyes very seriously. So one of them, like I already mentioned, is diabetes causes progression of your cataracts. So if you are at that age group where you already have cataracts, so diabetes can lead to a higher progression rate. Second is the more serious complication is diabetes can actually affect your retina. For your knowledge, retina is the nervous layer of the eye, so which connects to the brain basically.
Right.
So basically we have a lens and then we have the retina, which will transmit the signal to the brain. So what happens in diabetic retinopathy is, so your retina gets supplied by these small tiny blood vessels which supply nutrition to your retina. And in diabetic retinopathy, these vessels start leaking.
Okay.
And then you have different problems related to that. So the nutrition of your retina suffers, and as a result the impulse transmission. A lot of points to mention there, but the basic pathology is your retina receives less oxygen than it should at different areas. So naturally, let's say we are causing a slow death that way of the retina. So that's what your mishti might do to you.
So I know I can probably try to reduce mishti, but the good thing is there is always a solution at Ashvini Netralaya.
So rightly said, Tridha, at Ashvini Netralaya we have a variety of solutions for diabetic retinopathy that includes intravitreal injections, that include lasers, as also medications. So my last advice to you would be early detection can save your vision. So do visit Ashvini Netralaya for more.
All right. Are you ready for rapid fire?
Definitely.
Doctor's so busy talking to his clients. Wait, no. Are you ready for this?
Definitely.
Are you ready for this? All right, I'm really ready for this. So now I have certain things I want to know from you. The truth about the following myths, okay? I've been told this as a kid. If you eat carrots, it'll improve and maybe even cure your eyesight.
So no, unfortunately, eating carrots will keep your eyes healthy because it has a lot of important vitamins that way, but it will not make you get rid of your spectacles. Sorry.
So do you think Bugs Bunny never needed spectacles? Of course. Does wearing glasses further deteriorate your vision? I'm surprised with this myth. People even ask these questions? Really?
Unfortunately, people do ask these questions, Tridha. I get a lot of patients who ask whether they should wear glasses and whether it will worsen their vision. No, they don't. So the only job of your glasses is to help you see better and nothing more or less than that.
Do colorblind people see only in black and white? Oh my God, I was suffering with this particular myth for the longest time. I used to think that colorblind people could not differentiate and they could just see black and white. What is the take here?
So that's a very interesting question, and I think it's a very common misconception that people have. But no, colorblind people do not see in black and white. Most colorblind people only have a problem in differentiating between different colors.
Okay.
So they don't really see the world in black and white.
So what color will a colorblind person see, the colors we're wearing right now?
So that depends on what they have, what kind of a deficiency they have. They might have red-green deficiency, blue-green deficiency. So they might see like this color right here, they might see it as green.
Okay.
So that's one thing. Some people tend to not understand reds better. Some people tend to not understand greens better. And when heaped together, they'll have problem in picking out those different colors. So that's one thing. Another thing is, since you asked, you're also partially correct. because there's a very rare type of color blindness in which people do see black and white. That is called achromatopsia, in which they do not see achromatopsia.
Okay.
So in which they do not see, so they're achromatic. So chroma is colors, yeah.
Yes.
So basically they see the world in black and white.
Oof. Can vision be restored with an eye transplant? Of course, this is such an important question. I mean, how can this really be a myth? Eye transplant is something that a lot of people are skeptical. I'm very skeptical of surgeries, realistically, let me tell you. That's why when I am considering LASIK, I will definitely have a detailed conversation about that with you. But tell me a little about that vision. Can it be restored with an eye transplant?
Vision can only be restored with a cornea transplant. Not actually, the only part of the eyes that can be transplanted is your cornea. So that's another very common misconception that you asked. So we cannot transplant the whole eye. So only the cornea can be transplanted, and only if your retina and the other structures are working well, then you might regain your vision if we transplant the cornea, if you had a corneal disease in the first place. So that's the only case where we can restore your vision.
You know, I actually walked into one of my colleagues one day and I didn't understand what she was doing. She was basically putting rose water into her eye. I mean, I kind of did take it and I tried and burnt my eye. My point is, why are people doing something like this when there are different solutions to probably keeping your eye cool?
I think it's mainly because of word of mouth. And no, I wouldn't advise you doing that, putting anything in your eyes which is unsupervised. So please don't put rose water, honey or anything else which has been advised by anyone in general apart from an ophthalmologist.
So we've spoken about color blindness, we've spoken about improving eyesight. The most important myth that I feel is, must cataracts be fully matured before they can be operated on?
No, that's a very outdated concept actually. All of us will have cataracts eventually at a particular age. So no, they do not need to be fully mature. So when we talk about fully mature cataract, that means you cannot see beyond my hand in front of your face.
Wow,
so
it's
that's
a cloudy vision.
Yeah, it's as cloudy as possible. So that's the last stage of cataract. Mature cataract is the last stage. Now we operate between stage 2 and 3 max. So I think no, cataracts do not need to be fully matured, because the techniques which we use in hospitals like Ashvini Netralaya, it's a completely topical surgery. By topical, I mean you do not need any kind of anesthesia. It's not invasive as such. There is no hospitalization required. There is hardly any recovery time, and it's completely painless. Cataracts do not need to be fully matured, right?
Wow. Dr. Anurag, you really dropped some eye-opening facts today. I'm so thankful for that.
Glad to be here, Tridha, and I hope this helps everyone take better care of their eyes.
So one thing is for sure, nothing can help me. No carrots, no eye yoga, no nothing. It's just a good vision with the help of an eye surgeon or an ophthalmologist. Your eyes work 24/7 for you. So blink more often, enjoy clear vision and come to Ashvini Netralaya.